Well, Uganda's Vision 2040 was adopted as a methodology and a roadmap for the economic and developmental action. Accordingly, some ministries, institutions and government entities underwent a restructuring process to align them to the requirements of this phase. Now, this would enable them to perform their tasks and expand their competencies. Ultimately, this will enhance the level and quality of services provided to beneficiaries and achieve a prosperous future and sustainable development. This Vision 2040 encompasses in a number of dominions, strategic objectives, targets, outcomes-oriented indicators, and commitments that are to be achieved by the public, private and non-profit sectors. This model aims to translate the vision into various implementation programs that will accomplish its goals and direction. And such programs will rely on new operating models customized to the requirements of each program, as well as the common national goals related to the vision. And that's where patriotism lies. Today with me in studios, I'll be having the State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, Honorable Kabyanga Godfrey Baluku, and Ms. Nakate Chikomeko Kutilda Bidabwa, a former head teacher of Trinity College, Nabingo. I'm Andrew Chamagero, and this is Uganda First, a program that is powered by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps. Join this conversation on Twitter. The hashtag is Uganda First. So given that we are celebrating the Uganda Martyrs this very week, we had to first go around on the ground and talk to a couple of religious leaders and other Ugandans what they think about Uganda, especially in the wake of the martyrs. Let's have a look.
We should work on our things. Love your church. Stop saying, but others are doing this. No, love yours. If you want a nice church where you come from, go back at your village and work on it, your church. So that even when you die, your corpse will be smiling. But if you don't work for your own back at home, even when you die, they take the body back. The body will be gloomy in a nice coffin. So let us work for our things. Let us work for our country and beautify it. We should not say America, what these are. No, somebody worked for America. Somebody worked for France. We should work for our Uganda. We are the one. And we should fight any vices like corruption that are killing our country. We are the ones to really put our country right. No one will do it. Other people elsewhere would be very happy. In other countries would be very happy when we are failing. So let us work for our country. Work for your church. From where you come from, that small church, never see a lay reader from your home walking without a motorcycle, and you were in Kampala or you are somewhere and you have the ability of buying a motorcycle for that lay reader. No, don't do that. Go back and look for your lay readers there, or a clergy. This clergy should be driving. You know, why should we have clergy? You want them to come and bless you when you go, and the peace of God, which passes you, and a blessing. What kind of blessing from an angry hand? It can't happen.
The reason why I grew up in business, it's because of the nurturing that came from my mom, from my childhood. So to nurture a citizen who is responsible in all aspects of life, it all starts from home. Just like a saying goes in English, charity begins from home. Just like the Bible says, the way you bring up a child in the way of the Lord will always help them to stick and remain in the truth. So every challenge that we are facing right now, it trickles back to our grassroots, from our upbringing. The environment that nurtured us from our childhood is what makes a responsible person. If I speak rudely to my children, definitely they're going to speak rude to the rest of the citizens in the world. The environment that they grow up around also matters, also gives them the way. And also your networks. So if you put this child amidst drug dealers, what do you expect to happen to this child? You know? So like the saying goes in Luganda, mbulira gwoyita naye nkubuulire empisa zo. So the group that they always associate with also matters to nurture a good citizen or a wrong citizen.
This begins from home, because I picked from my mother. She told me, how will they see me? Usually that kind of question, if you ask that question yourself, you'll never be ashamed. That means whatever you're going to, whatever I tend to do, I first remember, how will they see me? What will they say? So that is part of it. Charity begins at home. And then it's very important to have a life skill. Much as we go to school and learn so many things, it's important to have a skill as you're waiting probably for a job. You're not idle sitting somewhere, but you're doing something. You can be a crafter, you can do tailoring. Like me, I learned tailoring. Well, I learned through the COVID experience, because I was doing nothing. Then I had to sit on the machine and began doing tailoring. You can do beadwork. You can come to us and we can train you at a small fee.
Ekisooka empisa, obuntubulamu, obwetoowaze, amazima n'obugumiikiriza. Ebintu ebyo bye bifuga. Omuntu bw'abeera n'empisa asobola okubeera omugumiikiriza, asobola okubeera omwetoowaze, asobola okubeera ow'amazima. Naye ekisinga obukulu mpisa. Omuntu bw'abeera n'empisa, ebintu ebyo byonna asobola okubituukiriza. Nti omwana bw'amaliriza okusoma ne bamusindika mu kyalo nga gy'atandikira eyo ku bulimu obw'oku kyalo, n'ajja ng'akula, ng'akuzibwa awo aba asobola okuvaamu omuntu owaki. Naye kaakati abantu abasinga kati baagala mirimu gya kutuula mu woofiisi. Naye nze mbadde nsuubira nti ebintu bino babitandika obiyigiriza mu ssomero. Omwana bamugye mu buto nga bamulaga nti emirimu muntu olina okakaalukana. Ti bw'otookakaalukane tojja kola ki? Kubanga omulimu ogwa woofiisi basobola okuwa omulimu gwa woofiisi ne bamala emyezi 2 ne bakugoba. N'omala emyaka 6 ng'onoonya mulimu gwa woofiisi tokola. Ne kati nze wano ne bwenva wano ne bwenzire ewaffe gye banzaala ntuula nenkola omulimu guno. Kale nze mbadde nsuubira nti ekitongole ky'ebyenjigiriza bakole puroguramu ng'abaana basomesebwa okukakaalukana okuva mu ne batabifuula bibonerezo.
Omutuuze omulungi kitandikira waka. Ewaka babakuza batya? Bana balina eddiini. Bana abaana bakula ne batuuka waggulu nga tebalina mpisa, teba bantu bakulu bitiibwa. Bana bali mu gavumenti nga babba bubbi, nga balya enguzi. Gye yakuzibwa osegeera gye yava eri wansi bwe buzibu obuliwo. Era bwe abantu bakola batusumbwa essaawa eno, ddayo mabega bakagulawundi ye, ewaka bali batya? Tebalina ddiini. Omuntu yakuli wansi nga alina eddiini aba n'empisa. Awo abantu bakulu ekitiibwa, wabana ekifo ekikulu mu gavumenti taba mubbi, talya nguzi. Ensi oba n'ensi ekulaakulana ekulembeza Katonda ekimala kitambula bulungi. Omuntu oba namufya ya Katonda mumbe tayinza kukola. Toyinza kuvuma muntu kukubaawo, toyinza kusoza muntu nga wakuzibwa n'empisa, tosobola kubba wakuzibwa n'empisa. Naye obanga tolina mpisa ebina bina bikola ki? Kiba lwaki? Obubbi bungi, abantu bakulu bali enguzi, abantu bakulu naye nga bakola ebintu ebitajja myaka gyabwe. Osanga omuntu ku kkubo ng'awanda atambula alya naye nga muntu mukulu, ne weebuuza ono yakulibwawa. Kati ky'ensonga erimu ku dde ku nnono zaffe ezasookerwa ddala, ennono zaffe nga batuuza abaana babuulirira omuntu okula otya.
Uganda first. That's the conversation. Those were some of the opinions of Ugandans. And good to have you, Madam Kotilde, and Honorable Minister Chebuzanga. Good to have you as well, Honorable Baluku. Kotilde, when you listen to this conversation, national transformation, all those that were speaking, they said it's something to do with upbringing, grassroots.
Sure.
When you look at our nation today, what do you see from where you sit in Standard Times?
Thank you, Andrew, for having me. And I want to thank everyone out there listening in.
Yeah.
I've had the conversations by the Ugandans, and it all starts at the grassroots. We have to have effective parenting. Effective parenting requires time. Where we are now, I think parents need to give a little more time to parenting and grounding the children in those social values, in the universal values that would lead to, thinking about where one comes, loving themselves to begin with, and then, of course, loving the environment and loving where they belong, giving respect to each and every God's creation, so that they may make a contribution as they grow up. So I only would say that I don't know whether it should be put in the, it's about demands of work.
Yeah.
The parents will leave home, and children are parented by surrogate parents, you know that.
The maids and all.
The maids call them. And when they come back, there is very little time to the children. They too, they have been at work, maybe there is very little that they have put value on themselves in as far as thinking about what values to pass on. So the situation needs to be rectified. Should we have a national policy that will work up to a certain time, and we have time to live for the family?
Yeah.
Yes. Because as you are aware, the work these days is a lot of work, meeting targets, people
the KPIs are heavy.
People work overtime, and this some person leaves at 5, they will enter home at 10. So could we have a national policy? Leaving time for parenting.
Yes, and I love that. Honorable, when I went to the Minister of Labour, Gender and Social Development, there is a parenting manual that was released, and I got my copy, and I started to read it and to understand how my inclusion as a father is intentionally needed for national building. Given that you are State Minister for ICT and National Guidance, where have we failed as communities to guide the national narrative, and how do we bridge that gap?
I think when you listen to what people are talking and what Mama here has explained, sustainable national transformation should be citizens-led, and not government-led. And where we are failed is we think
government needs to take center stage.
Exactly. Government has taken on national transformation. And because of politics, nothing else.
That's
because
true.
of politics. So government has given itself roles that are supposed to be for the citizens.
For citizens.
Because sustainable transformation must be citizens-led. And then government comes in as a facilitator to create an environment where transformation can take place, a good environment in terms of infrastructure, in terms of good laws and the like. But now it's as if government now should even give people food. When someone is hungry, he says, what is government thinking about? It doesn't think about, probably I should go to the garden and
should go and work.
And I should go and work. That is the biggest problem. And two, for instance, you saw the manual.
It's incredible.
And it's
well researched, well intentional. If you're Ugandan
yes.
and you've not read the parenting model,
yes.
kindly just go to the Ministry of Gender on their website and read
now
it.
that is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Has that manual been
disseminated appropriately?
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
You're seeing it.
Few people know about
exactly.
it.
Few people know about it.
Has it been disseminated?
That is the problem.
Yes.
Probably now government should facilitate this, probably take it to schools, take it to churches, so that even the preacher
reads through and shares.
Yes, you know the preachers are good.
Yeah.
You can relate the manual to the Bible.
True.
And you know the Bible is the best manual on everything.
All books come from
all
yes.
and all laws start with
the Bible, yes.
So if say you talk to the bishop and say, please, this is the manual. Can you disseminate it to the churches, and probably we dedicate a Sunday to talk about parenting. You pick what Ministry of Gender has put in place, and you look for verses in the Bible
that correlate.
Exactly, that correlate.
But you see, Honorable, this falls in your docket.
Yes.
This is national guidance.
Yes.
You as a ministry, what are you doing in terms of creating more awareness?
Yes.
Because I was in position to know, because I'm in the media, but imagine a parent who is in Mitoma, who is in Ajuman, who is in Abim, who is oblivious about all this that's going on, even the manual. He doesn't, or she doesn't know what the government expects of him and how to operate and how to groom a citizen.
Now, for instance, this is the first time a minister has been appointed specifically for national guidance.
Yes, that's true.
And now what I've started with is...
How does it feel being the pioneer?
I think Mama here can tell you being a pioneer. You must have lived more years than me.
Yes, I've lived more years.
Being a pioneer is
the pressures.
The pressures are too much. So now I'm developing a national guidance policy. Okay. Because first of all, we must have a policy.
Yeah, you must have a framework.
You must have a framework under which you should operate. Develop, for instance, national values. We don't have national values.
That's true.
And I'm seeing developing national values revolving on only 4 things. Not many. Humility, first of all. Ubuntu. I think you call it Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
Yes, love, entrepreneurship, and good governance. I feel those should be our national values. The rest of these ethics,
they're subsidiaries,
they come within that. But that's what we should develop at. When you are training your children, are you training them to be entrepreneur in mind?
From the word go.
Yes, from the word go, to work for themselves. If someone knows how to work for himself, he can't even be corrupt. Because they know how to earn. No, you know how to earn. And you know that you must work in order to earn. You must not steal.
Yes.
But you know, those are
that's true.
Yes, because as soon as from the word go, a citizen knows that you must work in order to live.
And that is in the Bible, even in the Quran.
Exactly. Yes. You must love. First of all, you must love your country. Uganda, irrespective of all the problems we have, it is still one of my best countries.
You have no other option.
Oh yes, I know. Even if I have an option, I have been privileged to travel. And I've visited so many countries.
But did you realize that we have the best country?
Oh yes,
the world?
we have the best country. We have the best.
East-West home is best.
If they gave free US visas, I think everybody would go to the US.
I wouldn't.
But me, I wouldn't. Because this is the best country we have. And then, obviously, governance is one thing that has really brought all these problems. Because we have been in turmoil for a long time, and people think that's the way to go. You live in
it's a normal.
You organize a demonstration where it is not necessary and disrupt business and disrupt people's peace. So we have also, as a country, to ensure we put in place very good governance frameworks where people can now start getting confidence in
to
the
speak,
leaders.
yes,
and in the leaders they have.
Yeah.
If we can do all this and we tell people, you guys,
These are the
government
values.
is not going to give you anything.
No one is coming. I keep telling them, no one is coming. Even the government, they're waiting for.
No one, and no one is going to develop this country.
Change is singular.
Not at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody is going to transform this country except Ugandans.
Myself.
Yes. Yourself.
Well, be part of this conversation. The WhatsApp number is on the screen. Send us some messages. Those of you who are on the other side of the television and you're part of the Ugandan collective effort, we're trying to transform a country to national development, but it starts off with the mindset of the citizens. Thereafter, we go to the social capital we have as a country. Back to Kotilda, you are a headmistress of Trinity College in Abingo. That is one of the remarkable skills this country has ever had. You are at the core of raising our future wives, our future mothers and grandparents, so be. What was the task like? What kind of ideology were you grounded on as Trinity College and Abingo? I understand you're celebrating 80 years soon.
Yes,
and what kind of values and ideologies that has kept this school going for all the years with all the girls you've let into the market?
Thank you, Andrew. At Trinity, the motto welcomes you and grounds you in the truth.
Yeah.
We are called upon to be true in all that we do.
Wow.
You know, true to your God, true to yourself, true to the people you live with, true to the actions that you take. And of course, those are geared towards transformation.
Indeed.
Or a positive trend. So, well, I was privileged to have the youth under me, guided by the programs in the country, but also grounded by the philosophy of the school, you know. So in as far as now upbringing the youth and having them the way they are in the employment world, and I'm glad to hear that they're doing well as well.
Yeah, they're doing.
Yes.
They're doing well.
We did embrace quite early this program that was has been around, the
patriotism, yes.
the patriotism program. And I think that is since 2004. I had just taken on the school in 2002. And we would go through these programs that the country, you know, put in place to ensure that we transform. We try to upbring the young into the national ideology, into loving themselves, into working hard, studying hard, you know, protecting the environment, name it.
Yeah.
So that program has been on since 2004, and each and every girl that enters Trinity, each and every teacher staff that entered Trinity and still enters Trinity has to undergo some of those programs. In addition, we have the foundation body. We are Catholic founded.
Yeah.
The foundation body programs also are meant to inculcate love. You have to embrace justice. You have to embrace integrity. All those, and then the programs are designed to ensure that all those come out. You know, because you know, you have to give the country what it has been lacking, perhaps. People that are committed, people that subscribe to the truth, people that are socially balanced, that are hardworking, that they must produce for the country. So it was a hassle, but I should say I was doing it with passion. Yeah. I'm someone who didn't go into teaching by accident.
Yeah. That was your calling.
I think it was.
And that's why it was easier for you.
Yes, I did it with all the love and with all the appreciation to God that I had been given such opportunity to have a touch to so many young people. So that is what we went through.
The philosophies guided you.
Yes, they did.
Honorable, when we come here, what are some of the elements you as government are looking at that are going to help us expedite the conversation of national transformation. You've given us the values, and I love the values: governance, humility, love, and, you know, entrepreneurship. These are grounded mottos. I've had the president resound them again and again. Those who are listening are listening, and those who are not, possibly it's passing by. But there are some other elements that are embedded under that. I want us to take us a little deeper in some of those elements that could possibly help the country to get ready to the next takeoff of transformation.
First of all, I think we should look at the school as a foundation.
Yeah,
as a foundation.
Cool.
If we can start teaching patriotism from primary level, not waiting for secondary.
Yeah.
By the time a child reaches secondary, he's spoiled.
Very well grounded.
they have ideologies.
Yes, they have
yeah.
ideologies. You start teaching
From
a
primary.
child from primary.
P3, they start.
P3, yes. You start
Nursery.
Yeah, I would love that though.
yes, because for me in P3, I knew the colors of the flag and what they meant.
We had just come from the war.
Exactly.
You had to this one.
You're getting me. But
Yes.
now, nobody knows
Yeah.
what is the meaning of the colors of
Do you think we're so comfortable as a country that we don't care a little bit about what builds our country?
now we have started concentrating on issues
That are petty.
which are petty. Like now, most of the schools, with the exception of the traditional ones, they just teach children to pass.
Academics.
We got 700
That's
past
why,
grades.
exactly. That's why you will meet the Nabingos, which are traditional. They are no longer getting academically.
They're not so much in the news.
Yes, because for them,
Yes.
they have a tradition.
All round
Their teacher,
education.
Mama told you, their motto is be true. True to yourself.
Yeah.
You're getting me?
Yeah.
So they still have that tradition.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why a person who comes from there, even in office, it will show a difference.
Come to think of it, people who went to college schools,
Yes.
their approach to life is different.
Exactly. But
Because it's traditional models.
exactly. But now, most of the schools, it is
International.
children must pass.
And that
And
is,
they train them to answer questions, not to understand the principles.
Honorable, those are demands of the society.
Yes.
You know, it's the parents are demanding.
Exactly.
And those who go by that way then go
Yes.
by that way. But just to say that well, for us, you will not ask those grades. We are giving you a whole person.
Yes.
So it is
socially
up to you.
balanced.
Yes.
And if you want to know the difference, you ask her where she started from. you see the way
I will get the
you see
difference.
the way she's sitting.
Yes.
You see the way she's
Yes.
talking.
Yes.
And then you see how I am talking.
This is Uganda First, the conversation that is about national patriotism. The conversation is getting much more heated. Hit me up on the WhatsApp, as you can see it on the screen. Let's have a conversation. We're looking at the best lines where we can start this conversation. It has come usually from the national leaders, where we as countrymen, we have put the government at the forefront to lead us in this, in terms of government to love a country. But guess what? The change you need is singular. What you want to be fixed, you can fix it yourself.
Sure.
I'll take a break for now, and when I return, I'll read a couple of your tweets and the messages from WhatsApp. Good morning. Uganda First. This is a program powered by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps. I'm Andrew Chamagedo, and a couple of you have dropped me some messages and tweets. Let me first start with the messages on WhatsApp. This one says, Andrew, I think you should also start inviting Abantu Awansi like border riders and market vendors to also give their views about Uganda First. Stop inviting these guys who, with well-paying government jobs, satisfied man will always see a hungry man as greedy. Alan, thank you so much. But I think, Alan, you joined the program after we had played the opinions of people from the streets and in the market, and they shared their opinions. But well, feel free to check out our YouTube YouTube channel, these opinions are actually there. The program will be uploaded. This one says, good morning NTV. It matters a lot if parents are playing the right role in upbringing of our children. It could be more important to our motherland Uganda, but mostly a big number of parents have taken it for granted. Instead, the worldly things are taking our children for good in my country. How I wish you'd given me your name. Coming on Twitter here, on Twitter, someone here, oh, I think Alan, you had actually tweeted to me as well. Alan Bix, thank you so much for your feedback. Keep the feedback coming, and we're making this conversation. It's not only about us in studios, but it's equally about you Ugandans. Coming back to you, Honorable, some Ugandans have a sense of feeling that the governance has not done enough to give them a reason as to why they should participate in the transformation agenda. They feel it's one-sided. It's only about the leaders. And they've taken us a backseat as citizens because the leaders, even on ground, don't seem to understand this. What is the National Guidance Ministry doing in terms of disseminating awareness and sensitization of local leaders about the national agendas?
Yeah, I think, one, with decentralization, when government went in for decentralization, that would have been the beginning point. Because now, actually, the intention was people to participate.
Yes.
Participation.
Inclusion.
Yes, in planning for themselves. And that one was one of the best policies government has ever come up with, and decentralization. And so many countries came here to start the decentralization.
They benchmarked on this.
Exactly. And Kenya eventually, for them, they even went for devolution, which is even more...
So that all the power...
So
Yeah,
that all
go
the
down
power
to the people.
go down
Yes.
completely.
That was in 2012?
Exactly. Yes. But you know, the biggest problem is now governance at the lower level.
Yes.
The people have not been given, even when there is decentralization, people are not given the chance to really participate. And one of the issues is because of lack of civic education.
Yeah, we don't
people don't know what their roles are as citizens.
Yeah.
So I have been a local government leader, and then our planning cycle starts with the parish.
Yeah.
The parish.
But when one time I attended the parish conference, and you would see that the parish chief is dictating. He's not even asking.
No. He has the powers.
He comes with the document that this is what we are going to do.
It is just informing you.
Exactly. And I say, no. You're supposed, at parish level, you're supposed
discuss
to ask the people what they want. You may think they want a borehole,
but they don't.
When they don't, probably for them they want a road. One day we were embarrassed. General Saleh camped in Kasese, and he called the coffee farmers. And then the agriculture officer read the tirade of challenges and requests, pesticides, what, so many things. And then General Saleh said, let us discuss this paper. But I want the farmers
to speak themselves.
Because you say, this is a report from the farmers.
Let's sample it.
And a guy stood up and said, what the agriculture officer has read, we don't know. We don't need the fertilizers because the mountain is still very, very fertile. And we don't have pests. We don't need pesticides. So we don't even need pesticides. What we need are roads.
Wow.
And they hadn't been read
exactly.
at all.
We want a road because the mountain terrain is bad.
Yes.
When I carry the coffee on the back, I come falling. By the time I reach down, it is already dusty. So the quality is what?
Is compromised.
Yeah.
But if we have roads, we can even use borders to carry
the coffee from the mountains.
From up to the town.
Hey, but we are getting problems carrying the coffee from
How was the agriculture officer looking at the time? Because you're in that meeting.
Leave the agriculture officer alone. What about we, the leaders? We need to...
I know.
We are ashamed.
Because inclusion was not
and the guy articulated the importance of the road.
instead of your fertilizers.
In the development of coffee as a value chain. And everybody got convinced. Because if there are roads, we are even going to start processing the coffee from
up
the mountains.
Yes,
so
because
that
there is already power, we can get diesel engines and we start processing. So you can see that
the inclusion.
The people lack participation. We have not given them chance to participate. And even who have the LOCs, they don't know what their role is.
The LOCs, they think their role is just to stamp papers of land transactions.
So a project is messed up, and then we start doing post-mortem. I saw my colleague, the Minister of Economic Monitoring. He found no borehole. He had given money for a borehole. When he said, where is it?
Ogwanga.
No, it's there. Honorable Gwanga. And
he was bitter.
When he was bitter, you saw him. Now, my problem is, who is ashamed? Is it the contractor? No.
It's the leaders.
There is an LOC1 chairman in that village.
There
is an LOC2, LOC3, mayor, and then chairman LOC5, and an MP.
Maybe the government does not give them workshops to train them of what their roles are.
I think that's what we should do. We should now go into civic education.
True.
Tell the people that, look, if we want to transform this country, it is you who will transform it, and not government. Government is just a facilitator. And those powers which are enshrined in the Local Government Act, we leave them, we give them a chance to participate and then exercise their mandate. We should not threaten them when they are exercising their mandate. That is also one of the problems. Interfering with people's mandate. Yes,
because the councillor does not know where he stops.
Exactly. Yes.
And
even
the LOC
you as a minister, the LOC1 has his mandate.
Yes.
You go there and start instructing him instead of working with him. I mean, those are some of the issues which we need. And then as Ugandans, we just have a mindset. You have seen Alan. You have seen that question, that comment.
Yes.
That means he just found the discussion where it was. And he comments. Now, under normal circumstances, you should follow
through
the whole conversation.
For you to comment objectively, you should what? You should follow. So either he found the discussion where it is and he commented, or he has already a mindset. That these are people who are well paid and therefore they cannot discuss Uganda at all.
You don't know what they're going through.
But he doesn't know that that's where we started. That is where we started. Me, my mother educated me selling juice in the market. I think Omubisi.
Just right there.
Yes.
There is another comment that is coming through. Let me read more comments are coming in via WhatsApp here.
So they think you have never been on Montua.
Exactly.
No, they think you're actually not there. Rebecca Chigongo from Budnamoya says, thank you, Andrew, for hosting this program. Miss Nakate, we are super proud of you and so privileged to have taught with your guidance. Surely it's about the whole person and the values that matter more than grades. It's refreshing to hear. This is one of your products. Good morning, NTV. I'm Aweko Nimungu Ronald. What is killing us, the Ugandans, is just that we are hopeless. Meaning that we feed on false hope. You find that today in every corner of Uganda, people are discussing politics, and we, the elders, the elder ones, we are feeding our children with this false hope. Let's talk about the false hope. Now that, thank you so much for bringing that to our attention. False hope. There is a lot of hot air people are selling today in Uganda, and we have politicized everything, even if it's a developmental project at the village level. If I support NUP and your NRM and his DP, we are likely not to take it up.
That is right.
Because we're politicizing everything. The false hope, how do we engage that as a country?
Again, it is about mindset. You know, we have talked about that.
Yes.
I think earlier on, the Honorable Minister talked about that policy that is being produced.
Yeah.
And I'm very hopeful it will come out. But it will also go with disseminating the information, making awareness and whatnot. But going back to your hot air and whatever, in what we do, I think we should agree on the path, and we agree the movement we are going to take. You know, it's participative. You begin with the individual, and then we agree as a nation, where are we going to go? It is defined in some ideologies already. I am not saying that we are on the blank. Yeah. But I think what could be now put emphasis on is to have that evaluation in place, periodic evaluation. How are we moving? How are we reaching what we would like to have as a nation? So agreeing first, and then believing in what we agree on, everyone, and then getting the individual participation, each one taking a role, a responsible role, and you know, seeing ourselves out there successful together. Yeah. So, Honorable Minister, I think in your policy there, the policy that you are bringing in place, is it the guidance or something? Yes, some evaluation. How are we reaching? For instance, the reason I bring it, we have had the patriotism program since 2009. And actually, before 2009, when the strategic direction was given by His Excellency about the youth, we had started on the Chaka, name it, you know, the national ideology. Yeah. But I have been around, and I shouldn't be shy to tell you that I think we should be having an evaluation
of these programs, periodic
evaluation. How have we gone? How else can we do it? So that periodic evaluation has to be in place, so that we don't supply. Is it what else?
Honorable, there is one here. This one is called Abdi1 on Twitter, and he goes, "Since we started placing money over good name and values, we lost it. Remember when a teacher's dream was a bicycle? A teacher just have a bicycle? Now, the moment that's twisted, being a good teacher to owning a bicycle, I'm the one in the entire parish with a bicycle, the juxtaposition came through. Honorable, let me step a little bit into ICT. You're State Minister for ICT, and as a country, our digital strategy needs to actually be in tandem with these conversations. What are you planning about, you know, extending these different IT possibilities and platforms for other Ugandans, especially those who are not in the urban centers, to have access to information using technology and all?
Yeah, first of all, I'm happy that the digital transformation speed is now high, and as a country we must catch up. So what we have started with now is to expand our national backbone infrastructure. We are now, I think in the next 6 months we shall be embarking on the phase 5 of the national backbone infrastructure, and also what we have called the last mile. The backbone will be like a highway, then the last mile will be sort of branches now, distribution lines. So we are going to build an infrastructure in the whole country, irrespective of where there are people using internet or not. We want the users to meet the internet there.
Okay.
Not the internet
to meet them.
Users.
Wow.
So
every parish in this country will have an internet port.
That is beautiful.
That's what we are working on, and in the next 6 months we are starting constructing the line. So because there is no way now you can move without digitization.
Right there, Honorable. Let me just read this. Big ups in the studio. This national transformation agenda has come up at the right time. With Uganda's democratic motion towards establishing a better Uganda, we really need the government to sensitize the public and the local government leaders on their roles in this transformation agenda and empowering the leaders on their sole agenda of decentralization. Maxwell Agubo from Yumbi District, thank you so much. I just could not wait to read that before because it was so burning. Carry on, Honorable. So you want the internet, people to find the internet already there?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
And all this, because COVID has brought in...
It exposed the whole of government, the readiness of the country.
Exactly, the readiness. And you know there's now the new norm after COVID.
Yeah.
We have to go digital. And most of these young people are no longer will no longer go for meetings.
We are on Zoom. We are even cutting costs
on tweet chat. The other day I was hosting two ministers, my own minister, Dr. Mariumus and Honorable Magezi, on tweet chat. And they were talking about PDM.
Yes.
And I had 5,000 people.
Wow.
Following.
Yes, the conversation.
Online. And I also streamed it live on UBC.
Wow.
So you could just see that, now I have attracted 5,000 people
in your location.
And they were glued to Twitter for 1 hour.
Wow.
You're getting but you cannot call for a meeting even in the village and you get 5,000 people.
You want.
And
so,
on time.
If we like it or not, we have to go digital. And that's why we are trying as much as possible to have as many platforms as possible. There are even young people here, innovators, who have started developing platforms, just like these Twitters.
And so talking about that, before you come in, Madam Kotilda, the government you serve, it has never released Facebook up to today.
Yes, yes.
The president, the fountain of honor in this country, believes that we can find our own Facebook as a country. God knows how. We have innovators, like you're saying, but they're not well facilitated by government. The budget to the ICT does not correspond to the need of the ICT in our country. In that kind of way, when we're trying to actually advance the conversation of digitalization, have you talked to the leader of this country?
Yeah. First of all,
because many youth strive their businesses and they want to transform this country using Facebook on a national agenda.
First of all, him saying we can develop our own platforms.
He's challenging
very
us.
Positive. And indeed, people are developing platforms.
He's a friend to Chinese, and I think he's borrowing from the WeChat. He's borrowing from the WeChat model.
But with Facebook, we are working on that. We are seriously working on that, and the impasse will be resolved. But for the president to say, we can also develop Facebook. Why not? We can. Like now in our institute here, they have developed a platform which works as Zoom. And we want to try it with Parliament. I've been talking to my committee chair,
when it can be
Honorable Moses Magogo, that we should try it, so that we start using our own homemade platform
solutions. Yes,
exactly. And I would like to say, ICT is not government-led.
It is citizen-led.
Citizen
private sector.
That's it.
Actually, government is an enabler.
It's an enabler, yes.
And a regulator. But what we are doing now is the president has put aside a fund for young innovators. For young innovators. Yes. And we are trying to streamline it. It had some few problems, as you know, corruption and whatever, but we are sorting it out. So that these young innovators
can get access to credit.
And then they come up with innovations. Because even all these systems we are using, like now we are lucky the PDM, the parish management information system, it has been developed by us. And therefore we own the patent. But some of these systems, you get a company from India and it holds you at ransom.
If you've not paid the license, it goes off.
And it goes off when you are going to pay salary.
Oh my God, that will take 2 more weeks.
So me, I support the president 100% to say, let us develop our own platform.
Honorable Baluku, you're my friend. As and when the time comes, I will actually bring you back to set.
And I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
Especially about schools. If we are going to have the internet there in the rural areas, Honorable, you're aware of the implementation of this new curriculum.
Yes, yes.
And that it requires a lot
of internet.
Yeah, you know,
digitalization.
We are telling the students, go research and this and that.
Yes.
So I'm glad to hear that.
No,
and I pray it will come sooner than later.
It better does.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, great citizens of this country, being a part of this conversation. Those who have been on Twitter and those who sent us WhatsApp, we just can't thank you enough. Listen, I'm a Ugandan and you're Ugandan. We all have a mandate and a duty to our country. All that you do, whatever you do, if you just decide to be a slack duck, just be at home and you're lazy, you're doing the country a disservice. And those who wake up every day and they try to find solutions, even amidst all the chaos you're going through, you must find a solution. Where there is a Ugandan, there is a way. Find a way as a Ugandan. Be proud of your country. Be loyal to your country. Protect your country in all that you say on Twitter and offline. My name is Andrew Chamiga. This program was powered by the National Secretariat for Patriotism Corps. Good morning.
Thank you.